Hey everybody, this is Brandon Gonzalez here at Bashuk Studios. Today I'm excited to demonstrate this unit. This is the Audio Sprockets Tone Dexter II. This is an acoustic preamp with onboard technology that allows you to capture a wave map, or maybe more appropriately, an impulse response of your acoustic guitar. I'm going to demonstrate this against traditional microphones, give you my thoughts, opinions, and look at some of the features of this unit, and then at the very end of the video I'm going to give you one final demonstration. So please check it out. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. I think the wave map held its own. I'm going to talk a little bit more about how I captured that wave map, but in juxtaposition to the actual mic'd guitars, the mics always win, hands down, no matter how much processing you do or no matter how much, finessing you do with, onboard pickups or units like this. But I'm definitely going to talk about the wave map itself and kind of how it functions within this device. It's pretty interesting because really the admonition is to stick a microphone in front of it. It recommends a small condenser, and then ultimately it will go ahead and capture the image of your guitar, the sound, and record it and store it, and that's your wave map. Now when I did just that, I got varied results. It really sounded okay. It didn't sound, just like my guitar. It was one microphone. It was at the 12th fret. That was the optimal positioning. I have a decently treated room, so I wasn't really, hearing that. It was more about just the robustness of it and the representation of it. It sounds good, but I wanted it to sound better, and I think that really there was opportunity to explore and finesse a better wave map. Inside of talking about how I engineered this, I'm going to kind of demonstrate the settings and what you're able to do with a wave map. So really, once you figure out, the process of capturing it with a microphone, it will go ahead and generate that wave map. And then from there, you can do things with it. And that's really the key piece that I think is missing from maybe some of the other videos that are out there that just show the capture and then they show the contrast between the mic acoustics and the unit itself's wave map, which again, the mics will always win. And so after catching my wave map and engineering it the way I did it, I wanted to go ahead and tweak it further. And so really on board, you can make those adjustments. You can adjust the EQ, you can adjust spaciousness, which is a setting in here. And it kind of gives like a little bit more, I don't want to say reverberation, but it almost makes it sound like the guitar's in a room. And then also there's onboard compression and reverb and those things that really allow you to kind of get the best sound of the guitar itself. And really what you're trying to do, in my opinion, is you're trying to emulate what your actual guitar sounds like. It's got the core, it's got the skeleton, but now you need to kind of dress it up. So I did that, but I also took it a step further. What I ended up doing was using the same microphones that I demonstrated today. I used my Lewitt condenser pencil, and I used my Nude rectangular ribbon. I used the ribbon on the body side, and then the pencil condenser does the heavy lifting. It really is the microphone that catches the articulation, and it catches the embodiment of the instrument itself. And I found that in balance, they sound really good together. I wanted to apply that ideology to have both of those microphones be part of the construction of making this wave map. So I ended up needing to kind of get creative and use my DAW, which is Logic Pro X, to feed the signal and then route it back out into the tone Dexter. And so there's just a little bit of things that you have to do to get that right. One is making sure that you obviously have your input set right and you're sending your microphones into the DAW. But moreover, I bust them together, and then I bust that single output on a channel out to the tone Dexter's input, which is the microphone input. Now, the caveat there is you're sending a line level out to a mic, to a level that's expecting a mic, which means the line level will be much, much higher. And so I ended up using this, which is just it's a RNDI, and I used it to kind of bring the level down significantly to match the output. Now that was a workaround. There's a better device made by Radial that I'm looking into, and I'll explore more about that later. But with that and some controlled gain staging, I was able to get the microphone not to overload and the signal to be processed by the tone Dexter II and ultimately capture two microphones in one. Now that's a lot of work, and that's not what the average consumer is probably looking for, but I really wanted to see what I could get out of this device, because if you're going to be using this live or in the studio, I think it has the ability of capturing your guitar in a very reflective way, and that's kind of the point. And so the wave map that you heard today is what I did. I had done that a few weeks ago. I finally sat down with the device and got used to it, understood the menu, understood how to work it, understood its facets, and then ultimately really just applied what I learned and kind of finessed that sound. And then I had fun and did a bunch of other guitars too and got some really good results. So inside of the wave map menu, there's a couple of options. Under Manage, you can go in and you'll see a little oven symbol. And then you'll also see a morph symbol. I'll get to the morph symbol soon. But the oven symbol is the bake option, where you can really tweak your EQ, your settings, your compression, all the parameters and attributes that you're able to adjust. And then you kind of cook them in. And then it kind of levels. It resets everything on a new wave map preset. So you don't destroy the old one. You get to keep it just in case. It makes a new one with those settings. And the baseline is now that. And I found that pretty cool because, we spend all this time tweaking our settings, and then maybe you bump something and it goes, you end up adjusting the bass or the treble or something is off, and now you don't remember exactly where it is, and then you go down a rabbit hole of trying to figure out what you had. So I do like that. And then the other setting is the morph setting, which I found really cool. You can actually blend two wave maps together. So if I wanted to place a microphone on the 12th fret here, condenser, in another training session, place another microphone over here for more body, I can essentially dial the body into the wave map that caught the condenser on the 12th fret. And now I experimented with that a little bit, and it's cool, but you have to do it in very small increments. If you start to overdo it or add the percentage to be really, really high, it starts to sound a little phasey and it doesn't sound natural. So it's just very like kind of to taste, and you don't want to go overboard with it. So that kind of led me into the area earlier that I said where I wanted to capture 2 microphones at once. And then I took it a step further and I processed those microphones inside of my studio, inside of my DAW, and added like compression, EQ, preamp, and other different things that got the sound almost like what I would feel is studio ready, is the best that I could get. And then I captured it using the tone Dexter, and kind of like genie in a bottle, I got it to be what I wanted it to be. I had the opportunity to use that wave map live, and I got really good feedback from the sound guy who kind of plugged me in, and he had asked me to give it a test run. And it was this guitar. It's the Taylor 2026 Next Generation K24CE Builder's Edition, which is just the majesty right here. And the wave map sounded fantastic. He actually was just like, he threw his hands up in the air. He's like, I don't even need to EQ you. You're good to go. And so that was cool because I got an objective confirmation on the wave map sounding really good. And for the price that it costs, I'm definitely glad that it is, that I don't have to pair it with other pedals to make it complete. I can just grab that and go. It works off a little, I think it's a 12 volt. I had a little wall wart. I have it just plugged in right behind me. When I first got it, I want to talk a little bit about the support. I bought it as a demo unit off of Sweetwater, and it came and it was perfect. Like, there was no scratches. The box had everything. Like, it was just maybe somebody returned it or something. And when I started using it, I was just not very familiar with it, and I didn't like fully invest my time. But what I noticed was when I did take it to rehearsals or when I took it to open mics, it was doing this thing where it was like trying to pump up the gain while I was playing. Like, not even in training mode, it was just like jumping up in volume, and I could tell the sound guys were scrambling to figure out why the sound is overloading. It was almost like the gain, not the volume, the gain was getting turned up. Kind of like the way when you're doing the training mode, because you'll see if you do end up owning this device, or if you already do, in training mode, it's trying to find the right level of the microphone, and then it ultimately settles to make sure it's not overloaded, and then it kind of starts training. It was kind of doing that, which I thought was not right. And so I ended up reaching out to the support email, and I got a reply in a reasonable amount of time. And I think it was the owner actually who replied to me, and he kind of just had me troubleshoot a few things, and he thought maybe there was a hardware issue. So he was honest with the fact that it could be an issue with the device. He wasn't trying to just say, hey, it's user error, because we've all been there where you've gone through everything and you know what you're talking about, and then you actually submit a ticket or something. They're like, well, it's you're the problem. So anyway, he was very kind, and I ended up figuring out that I was on an older firmware version. And what I didn't realize was that the older firmware, at least I think, didn't have like the compressor and stuff. So I ended up gaining more when I finally updated it. I finally hooked it up to USB, and I finally accessed the management page on the protocol. So basically the way it works, I'm not a technological person, but it's USB-C into your computer, and then you have to allow like a TCP protocol, and then you use a IP address to go into your browser and call up the management system, which then allows you to access your profiles, and you can rename them, you can clone them, you can delete them, and all sorts of little things. And I think you can even save backups too. It's kind of like anybody ever used a Kemper? It's kind of like that, where you can manage your files. So pretty cool stuff. And I ended up finally getting organized with it and like naming my files, because if you ever use a pedal and you're trying to scroll through all the letters to name something, you tend to give up halfway through. At least I do. It's just so tedious. So it allowed me to get organized, and then I thanked him, and I had no issues with it ever since. I've taken it out to a few open mics, a few live performances, and it didn't jump in volume anymore. So I'm happy that I didn't have to send it back. And I do think that based upon his reply to me, if I had sent it back, I think they would have made it right. I don't want to speak on behalf of what hadn't happened, but the way he was kind of approaching it was, from a sympathetic point of view versus a defensive point of view. So I just want to kind of give a little bit of a high five to the owner and the makers of this device here. So all in all, I think the preamp is really good, and I've used like the Nux Optima Air, and that was okay. Again, it didn't have the kind of menu features that I like, so I was really curious to try this one. What I do like though is that if you do get a good wave map and you really are happy with your sound, it doesn't matter what pickup you're using anymore, because you can do 100% wave map and it'll kind of remove the pickup sound out of the equation. A lot to be said. I definitely wanted to take the time to review this. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know your experience with it. I think it's definitely worth the cost. It's not cheap. I think it's in the, I want to say the $500 to $600 range. I don't remember exactly what it cost, especially I got it on a little bit of a discount due to it being a demo model. But it hasn't left and it's not going anywhere. I do want to explore it some more and see if I can continue to engineer really good wave maps, and who knows, maybe one day there'll be like a forum where wave maps are shared. I want to take the time to thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys who have subscribed, those who watched my first video that I put out just a few weeks ago. I'm going to try and continue to make videos to review acoustic guitars, review music gear, and bring as much information as I can and the knowledge that I have to all of you. So thank you very much, and I look forward to the next one. Thanks. Wake up, sleepyhead, I've got your coffee in your favorite cup. There's breakfast on the table, your daughter made the eggs, watched her do it all on her own. It's funny how she grows right before our gentle eyes. Pray to God we raise her right. From diapers to a dress, tears of joy and of distress, I'll wipe every drop from her eyes. And just like her mother, I'll love her till the day I die. There's not another that can take away my sights. I know a secret and I learned it well. Keep your eyes on those prizes running to the door. They're my anchor and my wingspan now. They give me life, give me love, give me everything I want. Teenage years, the time has gone. Your daughter has a boyfriend now. I watch him like a hawk. He knows my gun is cocked. I expect her home by 10 p.m. It never feels the same when they grow and move away, as if the tears build homes in my throat. But I know there'll come a day when her children will play with grandfather's old guitars. And just like her mother, I'll love her till the day I die. There's not another that can take away my sights. I know a secret and I learned it well. Keep your eyes on those prizes running to the door. They're my anchor and my wingspan now. They give me life, give me love, give me everything I want. If you keep your eyes simple, you will get more. There comes a time when a man has to live for those little hearts that beat inside your partner. Everything changed when we had a little daughter, and fortified in a fragile foundation, they are indeed my tiny little nation. And I won't drink too much, smoke again, 'cause I wanna be around to give away my daughter's hand. When she walks down that aisle, and just like her mother, I'll love her till the day I die. There's not another that can take away my sights. I know a secret and I learned it well. Keep your eyes on those prizes running to the door. They're my anchor and my wingspan.